Hey creators, and welcome to the Video Content Creation Made Easy tutorial. In this quick walkthrough, I'm going to show you a simple, repeatable way to create scroll-stopping content, even if you don't have a design or editing background. This tutorial is created to help you get your message out there faster without sacrificing quality. If you've been spending too much time on content that barely gets seen, this is going to give you a better way. We're going to be using tools like Canva, Google Sheets, and ChatGPT to batch produce short-form videos that are clear, clickable, and built to perform on platforms like TikTok, Reels, and YouTube Shorts. I like to use them for both Instagram and Facebook Stories. I also like to think of this as filler content. Now, we should be using our regular content, whether that is our teaching, our entertainment, or our content that is about us, our family, who we are, whatever it is that you do in your content that gets your brand across to people to attract your target audience. This content gives great information and is valuable to the people that are in your audience. I call it filler content because it'll go in between the other content that you have. On days that might be tough, you can reach for one of these, post it, and it's done. You can turn your ideas into 30 plus content pieces in one go, or you can make it 1,000 pieces. It's really as much time as you want to put into it. 30 was a great round number for me to use. You can do 30 pieces of content in 30 minutes. You can use automation without losing authenticity. I'll show you a couple ways that I achieve that. And create videos that feel professional, but don't take hours to make. So let's get into it. So here we are in Canva. Now to do this, you will need a paid membership for Canva. Now there are times when I use Canva very consistently, and then there's also times when I can go months without using it. Canva does have an option where you can actually suspend your membership. So if you find that you're not going to be using it, you can just suspend it and then just reactivate it when you're going to use it again. So you can also follow along in the doc that I created here. And the doc's going to be a little bit different. I found that over the year or so that I've been doing this, that some things have changed. Some things work, some don't. So just refer to this video for how it's going to work with you. And this is early 2025. So what I'm going to do is create a new design. And I'm going to use whatever platform I'm going to be using. In this case, I'm just going to use a Instagram story. And a few things you could do here is one, you could upload your own videos right here to videos. And we can just scroll on down and go right into here. You can just size that right to the background. And one thing I usually do too is I'll highlight the background. I just make it black. Sometimes there's some videos where the corners don't quite meet and it just makes it less noticeable. Your other option is to go to elements and type in, say, make money online. We're going to go to videos and we just want to filter that so that we get vertical. Click out of there. And again, using your own videos is going to be much more personal. You can use life events, birthdays, barbecues, mowing the grass, walking the dog, anything you like for that. Washing the dishes. In this case, I can just click on that one. Again, just size it. And that can be our background. For this tutorial, I'm going to be using a make money online theme or niche to go through the training. Now, what I'm going to create in this tutorial is basically a title and some text underneath it. Now, you can use this for whatever you like. You can do this as riddles. You can present the riddle and then give the answer. You can change the timing so that as the video plays, it shows the riddle at the beginning and the answer at the end. You can use a time-lapse bar so that you know how much time, almost like a ticker. And to make this even easier, I'm going to be using my ChatGPT. And I've created a prompt for you in the doc. And it's one that's worked well for me. All you really have to do is just plug in your topic. So whether it's make money online, fitness, health, video editing. So I'm just going to copy my prompt from the doc and I'm going to insert it right into my ChatGPT. And I'm just going to replace the topic here with make money online. So as a top tier social media manager, create 30 viral short form video ideas on make money online. Each idea must address a bleeding neck problem, a highly urgent, painful issue in your audience, and your audience is desperate to solve. For each, include a compelling hook that grabs attention and reflects the urgency of the problem, a clear tip or solution that provides immediate value. And then keep each row under 25 words. You can add to this or subtract to that. I just found that that's a good amount of words on the screen. If you add more, it might keep people on the screen longer, might have to loop through to watch it multiple times. Just another way to do it. Present it in a table with 2 columns called hook and solution. So I'm going to go ahead and submit that. There we go. So another thing that you can do is you can also tell ChatGPT to create it as a Google Doc for you. Once you have a Google Doc, I always recommend to go through it, edit anything. And better yet, what you can do is instead of giving that prompt too, you can give it the prompt, but if you have your own information, your own course, something maybe an offer doc that you present to people, provide that and have it pull information from that so that it's actually talking about your stuff. So what I'm going to do in this case is I'm just going to download the table. So instead of me going to a Google Doc and then editing it and then downloading it as a CSV file, I'm just going right into the CSV file here just for this tutorial to make it easy. Just putting it right to my desktop. The other reason to use a Google Doc is because it's free, unless you have an Excel or Microsoft account that you can do it in there. So what I do is I go into this doc or into the Excel sheet and I just edit anything. Sometimes you get some weird artifacts that come through. So I'm going to go through and fix that quick. Okay, there we go. It likes to play with the apostrophes. And you can always change things later too, but it's always easier right here. Now you can also add emojis in this too, depending on the style that you're going for. So now I'm just going to copy the first hook and then the first solution. I'm going to do the first hook first. We're going to go back to Canva. I'm going to go to text and add a heading. Going to paste that right in there. And this is where you can edit your font and do whatever style you like. For me, I'm going to use Montserrat, black, make sure it's highlighted. I'm going to make it white, go to effects and add an outline. You can do shadow, glow, make it hollow. And I'm just going to make that black just to make it pop. And I'm going to also size that down a bit. You want to keep in mind too that the screen that you're going on, if you know stories or reels or even TikToks, you do have borders where you have things in the way like search bars. So you want to be conscious of that. So I'll position that just right in the center there till I get a solid line, pink line down the middle. And then I'll just duplicate that, bring that down, go back and copy my first solution. And I'm just going to make that font a bit smaller. And I just want to bring it in from the sides a little bit. See where it meets that box all the way around. I try and keep it within there. You usually want to keep that pretty centered if you can. And just keep in mind too that some of your messages are going to be longer or shorter. And you can adjust each one after once you see what's going on. So we can see here if we play it. Now, one thing you can do is if we pick your text here and we go to animate, we may want to do typewriter. That way they kind of have to wait and see until they can read everything. You can do ascend, any sort of animation that fits you and what look you're going for. So I'm going to go with that one. So now what I'm going to do, if I look at our doc here, within Canva, create bulk create in the sidebar. So if you don't have bulk create over here, you can go to apps. You can just scroll down here and find apps right there. And if you look down through here, you can see bulk create. Once you click on it, it puts it into the sidebar and it'll be there. So mine is here already. I'm going to go to bulk create. and we're going to upload data. I'm going to pick my file here, Make Money Online, Video Ideas, and click Open. So you can see over here at the side, it says connect data to your elements. So what we're going to do is we're going to connect the hook to the title and the solution to the text. So all I'm going to do is come over here and I'm going to right click and go down to connect data. And it's going to ask me which one. So I want to do the hook. Same thing with this one, connect data and solution. And that's it. Now, if you were using images, this also has the ability to connect to an image. And to do that, if we just go back here and we enter data manually, what we can do is here, if we clear the table, we can go to our spreadsheet and we can copy that part there. Just copy everything. We go right up into that top box right there and we just paste. So it puts everything in there. And then we would add image. And then if I go to my first one here, I can go through and I can begin picking images. There's one. Let's go all the way through here and just keep going just like that. I'm not going to go ahead and do that, but that would fill all the images for each one of those. So I'm going to clear that and just hit cancel. Go back to upload data. And you can see we're still connected here. So it's labeled as hook and solution. So now that I have the screen where I want it, I've adjusted everything with line spacing. I maybe want to pull that in a little bit. I usually do that. I keep a little tight here. I probably want it a little further apart just to create some space. But remembering that I do have some other longer ones. Maybe I want to have it left side justified or right or center. It's terrible. So I'm going to leave it centered just like that. And you could do, I've done stories before where I'm doing a promotion, and I'll show you one here where I'll have this. And basically, see here I have, in my spreadsheet, I'd have different columns. So I have a title, I have a heading, sub 1, sub 2, and the body. And I'll go through and I'll create all different ones. And the one I'm doing for you now is pretty simple. You could see in this one, I have an overlay. I actually took the back picture, made one image, and then I made it black and white using a filter. And then I put the other image on top of it, just kind of gives it a little bit of a 3D. Another thing that you can do is if you find that your text really isn't noticeable, what you can do is when you're in here, if you just type R, it just puts an overlay here, a colored overlay. And what I'll do is I'll change that to black, and I'll just spread that over the entire area. I'll go to transparency and I'll bring that down. Can do that just to kind of block out the video behind it, make it a little less distracting. Or I can do something like this, where I just cover that part of it. Now, I just want to be careful because some are going to be longer or shorter, and I can adjust that later. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to eliminate that, but that's just an idea for you. Leave it just like that. Come over here to bulk create and connect data. I'm going to hit continue. Brings up all my text. I'm going to hit generate 30 designs. All right, so now you can see it has all of my titles. Now you'll have to go through and kind of just tweak each one a little bit. Like this one might be a little bit wide. And, again, I just went through this quick. That title might be a bit too long, and then the message a little bit too small. All right, so this is great if you wanted the same video over and over. But at this point, what you can do is, if you go through and you can look at some of the spacing, move things around where you need to, maybe make that a smaller font, pull it in a little bit. Just go through each one and just kind of get it ready. Basically, this is where you're going to come in here, and I would do this from your mobile phone because you're going to be uploading from your mobile phone most likely. And you want to do them one by one. Basically, you just created 30 days of content, fill with content, at least one piece a day. So what we can do for the videos is if we go to elements and we go back to our Make Money Online videos, and again, we go back to vertical, all I need to do is drag this from here right in there. Go down to the next one, here to there. So it's super simple. Again, if we go to uploads, I go to videos. I have the latest ones that I did last time. You got one of my dog.
Get in there.
Go there. Now, the other thing that you want to do here too is once you click on that, you just want to mute it. That one here, mute it. That way you can add your music in the platform you're using. The other thing I recommend too is even if you don't use a title here, or if you have it, if you add the video and you use the text from the platform that you're using and add the text there, it may get a better reaction with the algorithm. It may recognize that it is its own element, it's text that's in there. So recognize it better. That's also another option for you too. But you can go through here, you can change every video now, or you can do it when you're uploading it. Best thing you can do too is you can also use images. And if you're using images, one thing you can do too is if you do this ahead of time, you can go through and say, this one here, I want to move it to a folder. I click that, and then I can create a folder. And I'll say April content. And I'll move it there. I'll go to this one, move it to a folder. I'll put it in April content. And then you make a folder. And basically that's it. It's pretty simple. We just created 30 pieces of content in, I don't know, just a few minutes really. If you have any questions, reach out to me. I'm happy to help. But while I have you here, I also wanted to talk about my Editing Made Easy intensive. If this tutorial helped you, there's so much more waiting inside with the intensive. That's where I show you the full process from profile optimization to filming strategies and editing techniques that make your content stand out and actually convert. It's designed to give you confidence and clarity in your content so you can grow your brand without burning out. And I've been there multiple times. If you want to go deeper, you can check out the details at the bottom of that doc. And there's a link that goes to even some more information with some testimonials. Again, I appreciate your interest in what I love to do with video editing and creating content to help your brand and attract your people. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.